Hey, it's Kat at Kattalestv. Let's talk about Diddy Did It. When are we going to take responsibility for people like Diddy? And Diddy's not the only one. But I had a conversation with someone today and I realized something. Rap is one vowel away from rape. You know, I have a thing about spells and spelling and what people are putting out there. And when you think about what happened with hip-hop and how it changed and it turned into rap, you have to think real quick. Back in the 60s, when the black culture was trying to fight for rights and respect. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, but in the 60s, we had like the Black Panthers and different movements trying to push things forward. And then we got the drug culture, the acid and the marijuana and everything, and everyone started trippy. And then we had like disco, and then we had cocaine, and then we had crack. And then conscious music, hip-hop music, turned into rap. And some of it had depth to it and great storytelling. And then it changed into abusing women and bragging about gun violence. Much like the people in Mexico who make songs about the drug cartels. You know, it's praising that culture. But you have to think about who's promoting it, who's helping to push that out there to help brainwash the generations and to influence young people's minds to where men are routinely thinking women as bitches, and even women are calling each other bitches, and that becomes the norm. And also the N-word. And people keep saying, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But I would say to you, if you were strapped to a chair for a day and someone was just yelling at you offensive things, you're a whore, you're a slut, you're a bitch, you're stupid, that would be abuse. But yet, we put on headphones and we listen to that kind of crap right in our ears. And we have kids who know the lyrics to these songs and they don't even know their multiplication tables, and they don't know how to spell, and they don't know how to find something on a map. Everything is by design. Either you design your life or someone designs it for you. I've learned that the hard way. And then also you have women making fun of other women who want to be in relationships or want to be single and not use other people, or just working a normal job. A lot of these new women are like making fun of women who don't use men and pay their own rent and have multiple jobs to take care of whatever their obligations are. And some of you make fun of those people. Why do you do that? You know, I watched a great show during the COVID situation called, I think it was called, I may not say it right, Yangtze Palace. It was about the Forbidden Palace in China and all the concubines and consorts that the king had, and how these women were used against each other and also used to get favor for their fathers. You know, their fathers would give the king their daughters so they would have favor with the king, you know? So long story short, a lot of those women they couldn't cheat, allegedly. I mean, they may have had lesbian affairs, but even if anyone found out, they'd be murdered. But long story short, they lived a life of, like, luxury, sorta. They got all these nice, like, palaces. Each person had a palace and stuff, and they had their own slaves or maids or whatever. But their life was highly controlled, and they had to service the king. And, sometimes they wouldn't see the king ever, or the emperor. And they would live their lives alone in these palaces, but have all these nice things. And it kind of reminds me of the women that these rap stars seem to want. Like Diddy was into Young Miami recently, and she's bragging about he takes her shopping. But he doesn't love her. He doesn't respect her. You know what I mean? I don't understand this mentality of promoting using people and getting a bag out of it. A person who sings songs like that doesn't have self-love. That's a person who never had love, never had maybe a male in their life that didn't use them sexually. And that's really, really sad. And when I think of, like, Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, some of these other rappers, some are better than others, but because Nicki doesn't just talk about having a bag. I don't think she's just about that, but I just feel like Megan and Cardi and Sexy Red, they pretty much live that lifestyle. There's other people, but these are the main powerhouses. But people try to say that, like, Megan is pro-woman and, like, feminism, and I'm looking at them like, no, she's pro-whoredom. So is Sexy Red. Using their body to get a bag or to get some guy to pay their bills, those are prostitutes. And we're letting young people access to listening to them and thinking they're their heroes. So we are responsible for this. We're letting people who don't have our best interests at heart control what goes in our ears. Parents got to do better. You've got to do better. If you're against what P. Diddy did, then you need to turn away from everything that he's connected to. And that means TD Jakes. That means any organizations that still do business with him. I don't understand how he's not under federal investigation and why it's taking so long. I mean, what are these people doing? I know they have to get the January 6th people, but my whole thing is, oh, I forgot. Let's talk about black exploitation films in the 60s. So from not the 60s, the 70s, early 70s. So you had, like, black power movement, and then you had Hollywood realizing, hey, we can make money off of black exploitation movies, and we'll have, like, sexy black women, and they'll get slapped around a lot, and then we'll have, like, Shaft and stuff like that, and we'll show the pimps and the prostitutes and that kind of lifestyle. We'll make it cool. And I think that also had an influence into rap music and culture. But if that's where you grew up seeing prostitutes and pimps and not having healthy parenting, you're going to think that stuff's normal being used for your body. And this can also happen to men too, because men don't normally talk about sex. Well, we can't say SA because, YouTube, but I just find not being able to talk honestly on YouTube is another form of censorship and control, and it's disgusting. Everybody's so busy trying to make money that you can't have an adult conversation, but yet they can have videos doing people beating up each other and it's normal. I don't understand. I do understand. There's some serious brainwashing going on, and people using the art of war to get rid of certain people that are easily manipulated. So all I can say about Diddy is that we need to cancel him, because the Department of Justice or the FBI hasn't done it. You know what I mean? It's like they seem to be real slow on the game. It's like, I remember, what is that guy's name? Dan Snyder, that was on Nickelodeon or whatever, that was the producer, who used to do swim parties with kids. It's like we pretend to be really stupid. If a grown-ass man is like having sleepovers with boys or girls, I mean, that's the other thing is, if P. Diddy said, I'm gonna have a little 14-year-old girl sleep in my bed, everybody be up in arms. But if it's a boy, you guys don't think that's not normal. Obviously, I think a lot of people have to do some research on SA and predators instead of being so fucking naive and stupid. Justin Bieber and Usher had no business being in the same bed alone with P. Diddy. If I had a son or a daughter and I found out that some guy or woman was sexually abusing them, I would do everything in my power to make sure that person never did it again. There used to be a time when the neighborhood would take care of bad people. I guess that's over. But I don't think the DOJ is doing anything, or the FBI, because they seem to let people get away with stuff. Like the Tory Lanez case. That case has no hard evidence. Everything's missing. The LAPD lost the guns, the bullets, the fragments from her foot. She changed her story 3 times. That case is not normal. But yet, they got away with it. Tory's in prison. It's almost been a year since he's been in custody. All for money. Because Jay-Z and Rock Nation has power. And there seems to be nobody actually investigating the LAPD or who is responsible for losing the evidence and why certain things are sealed that could prove Tory's innocence. But again, these are chess games. People in power can pretty much do whatever they want. Because look at Jeffrey Epstein. That dude was doing shit for decades, involved with the most powerful people in the world. And by the way, Naomi Campbell is also connected to P. Diddy. I think she gets paid to go to parties. You know what I mean? Like, they pay her to show up and it makes him look cool. But nobody cares if P. Diddy is homosexual. Like, I don't care. What I do care about if he's a pedophile, if he's a rapist, if he's a abuser. But narcotics go along with prostitution. A lot of pimps use drugs so they control the prostitutes. And it's not even prostitutes. I've sold clothes to exotic dancers, and one particular place I sold at, the manager told me, I want you to charge them an extra 25% because he wanted them broke, and he knew their addiction was buying things. So he constantly wanted them desperate for work. And, and it made me feel like, you know what, I can't sell here because this is gross. But it made me learn a lot about how people are and how the system is aligned in this country anyway. Slavery's never gone out of style. It just changed its costumes. You can work for a company that doesn't care about your safety, that wants you to work odd hours where you could get attacked and they'll have insurance take care of it. Or you could be a musician who has to give somebody fellatio to get a record deal. It's still prostitution. It's still slavery. So why isn't P. Diddy prosecuted? Do black crimes not matter? You know what I mean? Like, seriously. They say rumors that he's a federal agent. I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is that dude, he's not a hero. But all the guys, Jay-Z included, the way he's talked about women, bitches, hoes. I mean, what? The thing is, Beyonce, I know you guys like to worship her and stuff. What woman wants her man calling women bitches and hoes? That dominance, that abuse that they throw to show other men they're cool is no different than the incels that hate women because they're insecure. And someone said something really smart. I think it was P. Diddy's ex-bodyguard who said, or no, maybe it was the guy that was, no, it was the guy, Mark Curry, I believe, who used to write songs for Diddy and stuff. He said that a man that hits women and abuses them is a boy. He's not a man. And I believe Diddy is stuck. He's a narcissistic psychopath, in my opinion, allegedly, who's stunted at the age of 8. He has tantrums. And when he doesn't get what he wants, he beats people, or he hits things, or he hurts things, and he tries to use people to prove he's not gay. But nobody cares that you're gay. And if they did, you don't need to have them in your life. Why do you care about what people think? Why not just be... Well, I don't think he's gone. I think his mind's gone, because also Cassie said he did drugs and stuff. He's gone. I don't think there's no, I don't know. I don't think there's any turning back for that guy. But yeah, it's just interesting. FBI, DOJ doesn't seem to give a shit. Because I'm sure Diddy's involved with, he's good friends with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? And Jay-Z used to be a drug dealer, and his CEO, Desiree Perez, was busted for narcotics back in the 90s, and people say she's an informant. So the FBI or the DOJ has informants working in companies where their top female rapper, his name is Tina Snow, and Tina is code word for crystal meth in the gay community, and Snow means cocaine. So rap, aka rape, it promotes booze, partying, and drugs. It's in the lyrics, it's in the lifestyle. And the men and the women call each other bitches, whatever, but it's an abusive art form. So, all I'm saying is we gotta look at that. What are we listening to? Is it making us a better person or not? Is it destroying the culture or not? Anyway, I think I pretty much said everything I can think of right now, but this story isn't over. I mean, it's crazy. But you have to understand something. I've said this before. If you guys are into Shakespeare and you're into like comic books and villains, and you live in that fantasy world, and you don't realize that there's people that are doing horrible things that are famous, you're crazy. But also worshiping these people, don't do it. Be more focused on making yourself a better person. Because these people are not... I would never want to be at a party with Diddy. Ever. I don't ever want to be compromised. And I don't like the way he treats women. I don't like men like that. And what's sad is, a lot of those guys that treat women like that, they are gay. not all gay men treat women like shit, but what I'm saying is those guys on the DL, they use women, they treat them like shit, and I think it's because they never had a dad. And they never had a father figure that checked them and was a mentor and taught them you're supposed to respect women and showed them how to act. And if they had a mother, they hated their mother because they didn't understand why their dad wasn't around. Somehow they blamed the mother and they projected that pain onto the mother, so they don't respect women. Because whoever was around them got the abuse, the mom. So people need to think why, they're the way they are. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of women who were abused by men who end up abusing women. And it just keeps going on and on and on until you start thinking about it and changing. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Check out my other videos. I have a lot. Look up Tory Lanez if you're interested in that case. Look at Danny Masterson if you're interested in that case. Jeffrey Epstein, you can search it on my thing. I did that. I did some R. Kelly as well. And God knows what else. But it's about self-respect and self-care. That's a foundation. And also respecting other people. Nobody's perfect. But we gotta evolve. And we have to, not listen to abusive stuff. We gotta take responsibility. Alright, this is Kat. Bye. Thanks. Oh, super thanks if you like. Subscribe. And like. Bye.